Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
So you want to maintain the same purchase order number sequence? You can use that. So once Ariba is you are integrating with your ERP system. Then a copy also will be sent to the ERP system. So then again, you can decide where you want to do the next step of activities, receiving an invoice. You can do parallel. You can do receiving in both Ariba and in your ECC or Sarana. Or you can allow only to do the receiving only in SAP Ariba. This is all possible to decide. So that is the process of R to PO creation. Now, after the R and PO creation, you will be doing a goods receipt. Either you do a goods receipt. If the item material which you have created in the PR is a material type, then you do a goods receipt. Otherwise you post a service entry sheet. If the item is a service category. Once you do. For example, I am creating PO number 1 and line item 1 is the material. 410 quantity. Line item 2, service for 100 hours. For example, I am saying. Then in line item 1, you will be posting goods receipt, which is also in your system. You will be calling as a receipt. ID rec. Whereas in service you will be posting a service entry sheet. If it is mandatory, you will be posting service entry sheet. Otherwise, you will be accepting the service entry sheet. This is your part of receipt. Once this receiving is done, then the next step will be invoice. So invoice will be created. Either the supplier use the PO flip method. What will happen? When the supplier receives an Ariba network, he supplies the material quantity of 10. Then he goes to the PO and he clicks on Create Invoice. As soon as he clicks on Invoice, all the details from purchase order will be copied. And it will tell how much need to be invoice. Whether he wants to add additional taxes. He can add the taxes and click on Submit. Then invoice will be submitted by the supplier. So either that is the supplier side. It is a supplier, PO flip or as a buyer. You can also post. The supplier is sending a physical copy of the invoice. He is not sending the Ariba invoice. He is not using Ariba to submit his invoice. He sends a paper invoice. Then as a buyer you can also create invoice in Ariba. So you can go to create invoice and enter your PO number. And select the line item and proceed with invoice, whatever you want to create it. Here, when you are doing a two-way match, do you know what is two-way match or three-way match? So two-way match in the sense, suppose invoice is presented. In two-way match, invoice will be verified at the PO. And both are matching. It will go ahead and make the payment. That is two-way match. If it is a three-way match, then invoice will be verified again as the receipt and again as the PO. Both have to be matched. If there is no proper receipt and the three-way match, the invoice will fail, asking that there is no sufficient receipt has been done. So these are all possible. You can able to decide what type of receiving type, which we call in Ariba as a receiving type. Receiving type. You can decide, and for particular material, for example material codes of computers. Then I need three-way match. If a particular type of commodity is services, I just need two-way match. That means when invoice is presented it will verify with the PO and it will able to do. All these things you can able to configure under receiving type. With this, the process of goods received in Ariba happens in this way. And so one more feature is, Ariba creates one open receipt. For example, here I am saying that PO is created for material 10 quantity, right? Then Ariba will create a receipt automatically. One receipt will be created. For example, I am saying receipt number 1, 2, 3 and available quantity 10. Now you need to post goods receipt. Then you need to edit this rec 1, 2, 3. You need to edit it and enter what is the quantity you are receiving. For example, if I am receiving quantity 5, then I edit the quantity. Sorry, not edit the quantity in accepted column. I edit the receipt 1, 2, 3 and I enter the quantity as 5 and then click on Submit. As I mentioned, this is also an approvable document receipt. I can also say, if required, whatever the approval flows, if I want to say, I can able to say. If there is no approval process is required, then automatically this will be posted for 5. And another receipt, for example receipt 1, 2, 4, automatically created by Ariba. Automatically created in composing state. Composing state by Ariba for remaining quantity. What is our remaining quantity? 5. So Ariba will create one more receipt and which will be in composing status, and the quantity available will be 5. Again, you will post the quantity for 5. Then Ariba will stop once either POE is closed or POE is completed for the receipt, then automatically creation of receipt will be stopped. So composing state of receipt will not be more. There is no receipt. Quantities are available. Now receipt stage. I have received quantity. Generally, when you are doing a receipt, if we give a column called accepted quantity, rejected quantity. In our scenario, material 10 quantity has been received. So I will accept 10 and I reject 2, because the quantity quality is not good. So then it becomes quantity, as it was. This is a wrong method. So what you need to select? 8 as accepted. Quantity 2 as rejected. Quantity still, Ariba will treat this as a total 10 quantity received. Now, after that, this is one scenario. Now in second scenario, I have accepted quantity 10. Later on I found out that 2 are rejected or physically. I have received only 9 pieces. Then 1 excess I have received. How do I reverse this good receipt of 10? There is no way I can go to open that receipt which I have posted and edit and resubmit. There is no movement type called 102 or something to correct this one. You need to post one more good receipt. So here I am saying, receipt 1, 2, 3 for 10 quantities. Then I will say, receipt 1, 2, 5. For also I am ignoring. 5, I will do now -1. I need to enter. Remember -1 in your accepted quantity. Then system will read this as a 10-1, 9 quantity has been accepted. Later on, once you receive this one quantity, then you will post one more positive quantity. That becomes your accepted quantity. So that is a different scenario. In Ariba you cannot edit your previous posted receipt. In order to correct your receipt, you need to post a negative. And once you receive physical quantity again, you need to post receipt 1, 2, 6 with positive quantity of 1 quantity to make the correction. This is the process flow. Now receiving is done.